Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about a tier list for the post Dreamhack summary. I'm going to go into what I saw during the tournaments and what gods were popular, which ones were picked, which ones were banned. Of course, if you had some time to watch the tournament, there were some great matches in there. The EU team Panthera completely dominated. There really wasn't much competition there, which was unfortunate, but they're a great team. You can't really diss them for that. So, of my favorite team, Soar Gaming, did make it to the final, so I was excited about that. And of course, I don't want to brag, but my DreamHack predictions on the Smite fantasy points schedule was 100%. I got all of the teams, all of the matches correct, so that was very exciting. I almost picked Soar to beat Panthera in the finals, but I didn't because I had to use a little bit of reason there. I kind of expected Panthera to steamroll everyone they came across, which they did. So in this tier list, as I said, I'm going to just be going through the gods that I saw, the ones that were played. Of course, wasn't able to watch every match. I had some things to do. I was at a barbecue and I was checking my phone to see if I could, look at how the teams were doing. But there was some great play in there, and I think the biggest theme from DreamHack is players in general were picking comfort picks. At least that's what I noticed. So you saw a lot of out of meta picks there. There's also a lot of aggressive gods that were being picked up, particularly support wise. You saw those aggressive supports just be a lot more popular. Like Khepri was not used very much. Athena was not used too much either. Um, and so in general, I think teams were going into DreamHack and they're like, listen, we need to go all out at the beginning of the game, just go in and try to get an early lead. That was really what I saw. So with that, we'll just go into, and I'm going to just pick out which gods I really want to talk about. And we're just going to be using the A tier and the up to the S plus tier. We're not going to be using any of the lower tiers because these are just gods that were picked up. And I think if a god is picked up in the pro league, they almost automatically are at least A tier. That's not always true, but usually if a god gets played in Pro League, they're like A tier or above. So with that, we'll go into the first god I want to talk about, which is On Her. On Her was played a little bit, did okay, didn't excel or anything. He was just a good backup if there are some other hunters that got banned out. Um, so I think Zapman and Met Yankee might have played him as well. Again, I didn't see every match as I said, but I did kind of look back afterwards to try to look at some of the stats. So On Her was a solid hunter pick during the tournament. Amaterasu is another one I want to talk about. She was picked up. Baskin played her, did pretty well with her. So didn't get played too much, but is again one of those kind of supporting role soul laners right now, kind of behind some of the bigger characters. Ao Kwang is probably one of the best junglers in the game. Got picked up quite a bit. Didn't really get banned. Actually, no, I take that back. He got banned quite a few times. So he's up there. Very scary to play against. The teams that did get to play him, I think, did very well. So that was good to see. Apollo. So Apollo actually surprised me a little bit. People weren't picking up Apollo as much as I expected. Um, Now, looking forward as the summer split is about to start, I don't know when it exactly starts. I do think Apollo might come back a little bit, but I'm going to put him an A plus because again, this is just my reaction to DreamHack. He wasn't the top hunter and he wasn't picked that often, so that shocked me a little bit. Arachne. So Arachne is another one I want to talk about. She was picked up a few times. Verizio played her, I think, in like 2 games. Um, who else played her? I think there's an EU team. I don't remember exactly who it was who played her. It might have been Captain Twig. I don't remember, so don't quote me. But she did get picked up, which shocked me because I really thought she was kind of one of the lower end junglers. But she got picked up, didn't do that great, but was okay. She really did okay. Ares was picked up, I think, once or twice. Another solid, very aggressive support, as I said. EU, of course, likes to play Ares, so he was picked up a few times. Artemis was played by, I think, just Panda Cat. I don't know if anyone else played him, but Panda Cat is an Artemis god, really. So she was she was pretty good, but not the top pick, of course. Athena, unfortunately, was not played very often. She also wasn't banned very often because she is aggressive, but she doesn't have great lane clear. So I think that's why maybe some people were shying away from her. In the future, I'm not surprised if she's going to go right back up to the S tier, but post Dreamhack, she really wasn't used very often. Awilix, I think Awilix was one of the top jungler picks, very, very close to S tier. In fact, I'm tempted to put her in S because of her performance. She did very well at DreamHack, but I'm gonna leave her an A plus. But just note that a Wheelix was picked up way more than I expected, and I think that's because of the Bacchus combo. Bacchus was very popular, so her and Bacchus together are just really great. Speaking of which, Bacchus is next. Bacchus was probably the top pick for supports, which shocked me. I was really not expecting it. I think, again, supports were looking to be aggressive, and when given the chance to pick up a support in the picks and bans, more often than not, Bacchus was like the first pick. So that was very surprising, as I said. But he excelled too. He did very well. So Bacchus, very interesting performance at DreamHack. Bastet, I think, was picked up once. I don't remember how she did. I don't think I saw the game, but she was picked up. Bologna was not picked up as much as I expected, so she's going to be in the A plus tier. Who else? Cabrakan was played a few times. Did pretty well. I think Cuvo Fred played him and did did okay. Of course, Paradigm got 3-0'd because they didn't have Tricks Tank, but I'm pretty sure Cabrakan did okay in that game, so he was still A tier for me. Shock also got played. He definitely got banned. He might have gotten played once. So Shock, another popular pick with Paradigm, of course. His early clear is great. His mid to late game is okay. But because his ultimate got buffed recently, he can actually spam his ult a lot more often, which is a great team fight ability to have. I think Chiron did get played one game. Didn't see it, so I can't really comment. Kronos was not picked. Cupid was picked quite a few times, which shocked me. Zapman did really well with him. There's another player that played him as well. And Cupid actually got banned. I think that was the first time I've ever seen Cupid get banned, at least in a long time. So that was kind of funny to see Cupid kind of have his shining moment, which is really cool. Fenrir was another jungler that was very popular as a backup pick. So another thing that was very big at DreamHack that I noticed is teams were just banning out like every jungler they could possibly do. There were so many games I saw. There was like 6 out of 8 bans were junglers, which just shows you where the meta is right now. Junglers are just very strong in general. So it was interesting to see that. And Fenrir was just a good backup. And Adapting's Fenrir did get banned out. I saw that. So just that was another surprise, to be honest. Geb got played once. I think that was in the third game of the finals from Panthera against Soar, and I don't think he did very well on it, IRAFer, so he was okay. I think Guan Yu did get picked up maybe once or twice. I don't think I saw the games, though. This might have been during that 3-hour debacle with the Chaos Latin Gaming versus the Red Canids. I'm pretty sure during that match, Guan Yu did get played, so he was pretty good. I don't think any of these other gods were picked. I don't think Herc was picked. He might have been, and maybe I missed it. Hu Yi was picked up quite a bit. Another hunter that's kind of a great fallback pick if some other hunters get banned. Hunbats was banned out a couple times. I'm not sure if he got played, but I do know that Captain Twig got banned out for Hunbats. I think Adapting might have as well, and I think Homofay maybe also got Hunbats banned out. I'm not sure. But he definitely got banned a couple times, but I'm not sure if he got played. Isis, surprisingly, did not get played at all, at least from what I saw. Janice got played a couple times. I don't think he was played as much as I expected, but he's still an S tier mage, very strong. But in the games that he did play in, he actually didn't do very well. Like, Heroin fed on Janice, which was kind of interesting. Jing Wei was by far the most popular hunter. Ataraxia had a great game on him. Zapman played him. You name it. Most hunters were looking, or ADCs were looking to play Jing Wei. She was definitely like the top jungler hunter pick. So that was interesting to see. We'll see how that goes moving forward. Kepri got banned like once, I think. He was really not like popular at all, which is amazing. So as far as DreamHack goes, he's like kind of the bottom. Like, people didn't play him very much. Kumba did get played a few times with like Aurora, and there might have been an EU team that played him as well, but did very well. Aurora was great with him. Aurora played him a whole lot. So, solid support. Guardian is very strong, but not like the top pick right now. Who else? I think Neith was either played or banned like once. So I'll put her in there. Nemesis is up here in S tier. She could honestly be S plus because she was like first ban in so many games. In fact, I'm gonna put her in S plus just regarding Dreamhack. I think if you were to make a normal tier list, she would be an S, but people were very scared to play against Nemesis, especially like uh, when teams were against DJ Pernicus or like Captain Twig. No one wanted to play against this god, so she was first banned in most games, which was just a shock to me. So she was like S plus. Naja was played and banned a couple times, so he was another strong jungler. Homofe played him and did extremely well with Naja. I think that was in the third game against Panthera, where they kind of almost won but then fell apart. So that was cool. Nuwa, no, Odin didn't get played. Osiris did get played by Divios. He got banned a few times as well. Poseidon, no. Ra did. Wow, I forgot about this. Ra got played by Pretty Prime, and he fed so bad. In fact, that game, I'm pretty sure that was the same game that Ataraxia went off with Jing Wei. That was probably the most exciting match for me to watch because I love the players on Hungry for More, and I also love Eager. So to see Ataraxia just go off like that was really fun, but Pretty Prime on Raw was the reason they lost. Like he was awful. He just fed, and it was kind of useless. And he hit most of his ults, but he missed a couple of key ults, which kind of sucked. So that was unfortunate. But Raw did get played. Raijin was far and away the best mage. Actually, I'm putting him in S plus because of it. By far the best mage in the tournament. Was a hot commodity for mids. Everyone wanted to play Raijin. He got banned as well. And the games that he played in, he carried. Like he carried many, many games in DreamHack, and it was really fun to watch. So Raijin, at the moment, best mage in the game. Rom did get played as well a couple times. Got banned, I think, too. So he's probably an A plus for me as far as DreamHack goes. Ravana was the most popular soul laner that I saw. Divios played him in a lot of games. Baskin played him. Other soul laners, I'm sure, played him as well. Again, I missed a lot of games, but Ravana, to me, seemed like kind of the most popular soul laner, so he's an S tier for me. Scylla was not as popular as I expected. I really thought that most mids were going to try to pick up Scylla after like Raijin and Janice were banned out, but it didn't happen. A lot of times, if let's say if Raijin got banned out, the next pick was probably either Janice or Zeus. That's kind of how it was. Scylla was kind of like the fourth or maybe fifth choice, to be honest, which was kind of surprising. Actually, sorry, I skipped Agni. Agni did get played by Lobster. I don't think he did very well on him. I know Paradigm got 3-0'd. I don't really remember exactly how Agni did, but he was picked, so that's something. Ratosker, no. Cirquette, I don't think was played. If she was played, I missed it. So you might be able to correct me on that. Scotty, I think, was played once. That was interesting. I didn't get to see the whole match, but I saw the picks and bans of that. And I saw that Scotty was like the last pick, which was interesting. Sobek was up here with Bacchus. Those two were, again, the most popular supports because they're aggressive. I think if you were to make a normal tier list, Sobek would probably be S tier right now, and Bacchus might be A plus. But because this is mainly for DreamHack, they were both on like the same level. You were seeing Bacchus get first picked, and then after that, Sobek was the pick for the other team. And Guardians didn't really get banned out at all. So almost every game it was like, oh, just Bacchus versus Sobek. That's kind of like how it went. So that was very interesting. I was not expecting that. But again, these are a lot of comfort picks. I think a lot of EU supports love to play Bacchus. It's a comfort pick for them. In fact, I don't know what I'm doing. Bacchus was S plus. Like he was picked up in most games, and he did very well in most games. So that was, yeah, Bacchus was like definitely the best, and Sobek was probably below him. So, Sol might have got played. I didn't see it if she did, but she might have. Wukong, interestingly enough, was very popular as a Soul laner. I'm actually going to put him up with Ravana, because if people, like, let's say Ravana was the Soul lane pick for one team, the other team a lot of times would come back with the Wukong, which I wasn't expecting. Maybe players are just looking for those comfort picks more than the meta picks. Maybe Sun Wukong is a secret land genius. I'm not really sure how that works. but Wukong was picked up a whole lot, so he's an S. He's an S for DreamHack. Susano was S, not quite S plus. He was banned a lot, but I was expecting him to be the first ban of like every match, and that wasn't the case really. A lot of times he was like the third ban. If he wasn't the third ban, then whatever team was picking first or second would pick up Susano. A lot of times Susano didn't get banned at all, and no one even picked him. So that shocked me. I really thought Susano was going to be bigger. Um, I didn't think he was going to get played at all because of how much people were going to ban him, but he was a great support jungler. Adapting, had a great game with him, and he was just great as a support for his team. He wasn't there to get the final blow. He was there to set up the rest of his team, to set up his ADC with his ultimate. So that's kind of the role he played, which was interesting. Thanatos, they talked about maybe someone will pick Thanatos, but I don't think it happened. Thor. So as far as DreamHack goes, Thor was SS. Because so he got banned a lot, but he was also if he didn't get banned out in the first pick ban phase, he was the first pick like every match. And I think junglers were just like grinding their teeth hoping that they would get Thor. Every jungler wanted to play this god, and you could see it on their faces. Like there was one match in particular where like Homefei, I think it was the first match against Panthera in the finals, they locked in Thor, and Homefei was just like smiling and excited because he really wanted to play Thor. Adapting wanted to play him. Captain Twig might have he might have played him. DJ Pernicus, I think, like everyone wanted to play him. So he was far and away, in my opinion, the best god in DreamHack. Played very well, was a hot commodity. First pick like almost every game. If he was available, he was the first pick. Tyr was not played very much, if at all. Actually, Variety played him. Variety played, I think it was the first match. It was they played. It was against Paradigm, and he like fed as Tyr. So Tyr wasn't played very much after that. Maybe that's why. But surprisingly enough, wasn't really a top pick for solo laners. Who else? Vamana. Vamana could have been S because of how good Baskin was. Baskin carried real hard with Vamana. So because of that, I'm going to put him in S tier for DreamHack. It was a lot of fun to watch him play. Baskin is really like the LeBron James of Soar. Like, you have, Homofey's pretty good. Jigs is a good support. Herwind is actually kind of an average mid laner in my opinion. Maybe below average, but Baskin just carried. Like, it was kind of hard to watch how hard Baskin carried that team. And he did it on Vamana for like a few games. So Vamana was probably S tier because of that. Shivalanke was picked a couple times and also banned a couple times, so he's another hunter that was a good fallback if people didn't pick Jing Wei. But in general, hunters were kind of a mixed bag. Like, it was like whoever you feel like playing as a hunter, play it. That's kind of how it was. That's why like Cupid was picked up a few times because I think most ADC players are like they realize that the hunter pool is very, very even. There are not many hunters that kind of shine besides maybe Jing Wei. So you can just do what you want, pick a comfort pick. It's great. So I actually really like that aspect of DreamHack. Xing Chen, no. Emir, I don't think was played. Zeus was picked and banned a couple times. Actually, no, more than a couple times, like most times. Not picked up as much as I expected, though. He was kind of a backup to Raijin, and Janice was also a little bit more popular than him, so was played, but not that much. Not as much as I thought. And then finally, Zhang Kui was picked up in the final game versus Panthera versus Soar, so that was interesting to see. Now, in this list of gods below that I didn't put in the tier list, there may have been a couple games that I didn't see, so I might be missing a few gods. Feel free to correct me if I did, but this is kind of what I saw at the tournament. Again, Thor, definitely the shining god in the tournament. Raijin was probably second, and Bacchus support was also up there as well. So all in all, it was really fun to watch. I'm not surprised Panthera won. So hopefully we can get an NA team in there to win. Maybe Soar Gaming will get good enough to beat them in the finals. The World Championship, we'll see if that happens. Or any other team. Maybe Allegiance will be huge the rest of the season. That'd be awesome if they could really pull it together. So we'll see. I'm excited for the rest of the year. I hope you are as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.